Why off-grid power setups fail. My narrowboat experience. Off-grid power setups on narrowboats often fail due to a combination of over-reliance on high-draw 240 volt appliances, improper battery maintenance and insufficient solar capacity for winter conditions. The core issue is failing to adapt to a 12 volt energy conscious lifestyle, treating the boat like a house connected to a shoreline. Based on common narrowboat experiences, here is why these setups fail. This is my electrical cabinet. This blue box coming up is my inverter. It's a brand new one. And just to the side here is my MPPT controller. That's the solar panel controller. Inverter and Power-Hungry Appliances. Heating elements. Using an inverter for electric kettles, toasters, washing machines or electric heaters is a primary failure point. Heating appliances consume a vast amount of power, causing massive, damaging and rapid draws on battery banks. Using these should be avoided as much as possible. The alternative on Narrowboat Kate is a diesel powered heater. I use the gas grill to make toast. Plus to heat water, I can also use the gas stove or the top of my diesel fire. I will be getting a tabletop washing machine that will draw little power and will probably only run when I'm cruising using the boat engine to power it, meaning no drain on the batteries. And here we have on my stove, the kettle starting to boil. It's also going to be quite convenient to be able to cook some meals on there. Should be quite nice. A hidden power drain. Even when not in active use, large inverters can have a high idle power consumption, draining batteries over time. Appliances that run off 240 volts should be unplugged when not in use. Most of these will go into a standby mode that sounds good, but will still be a small drain on power that will run down your available battery power. Battery mismanagement and failure. Over discharging. Lead acid batteries should ideally not be discharged below 50% capacity, but many users exceed this as they will need the power for something. Dwindling capacity syndrome. Running engines or generators for only a couple of hours daily or relying on partial solar chargers leads to batteries never reaching 100% capacity. This results in charging capacity shrinking daily. It may only be a tiny amount each day, but over time it will add up to a significant amount, reducing the amount of power you can actually use. My battery bank is just under there, and a lot of the wiring has been redone since I had my solar. I've got one leisure one on the left hand side there and 4 other batteries. Age and maintenance. Batteries age and after 3 or 4 seasons may not hold a charge, causing voltage to drop dangerously low at night. On Narrowboat Kate, I know my lead acid batteries are very old. They do still hold a charge quite well. However, if I'm off grid, I need to make sure I only have things that I'm actually using to be switched on and then turned off when I'm finished with them. This helps to preserve the available power for the batteries. These are made of stainless steel, so they won't be able to fish them out. Solar power miscalculations. Shading issues. Trees, towpath hedges and other boats cause shading, which drastically reduces the output of series connected panels. Winter limitations. A system that works perfectly in the summer will fail in the winter due to low sun angles and short days, often producing only a tiny fraction of the necessary power you will need. Dirty panels. Uncleaned panels covered in dust or those covered in bird droppings, geese are the worst, or leaves from a nearby tree means they will significantly underperform, giving you only a fraction of the power you will need. Therefore, you should regularly clean the panels to generate maximum power output. If you're buying a new solar panel, I would advise you get panels that you can tilt towards the sun. This will give you the maximum power available. I do actually quite like it like this. The only downside is it's pretty much impossible to go out onto the canals in your boat, because essentially you become an icebreaker. On Narrowboat Kate I do have double-sided solar panels. The underside works by getting the reflected light off the roof, adding to the overall power available. I can also tilt them both ways depending on where the sun is. Plus I try to look for a mooring spot where the solar panels point straight at the sun at sunrise. I currently have 3 panels with a maximum of 1350 watts available. Hopefully you can see that underneath my solar panels there, they're actually double-sided, so any reflected light off the roof will be charging the underside, and of course the top side will be catching the light from the sun if it was shining. When pointing at full sunlight, the panel's output will be over 1000 watts. However, in cloudy conditions in winter, that will drop to maybe 100 watts or less. To give you an idea, during the summer my panels could produce, in ideal conditions, up to 6.5 kilowatt hours per day, with longer days up to 16 hours. During the winter, however, in ideal conditions, this will drop to around a maximum of 1.5 kilowatt hours per day at 8 hours of daylight. Some days it'll be a lot less. Technical and installation errors. Improper wiring, incorrect wiring panels in a series rather than in parallel, or vice versa, based on roof shape, can cause the whole system to shut down if one panel is shaded. Monitoring failures. Without proper battery monitoring, a shunt-based battery monitor, users often don't know their real state of charge. If you would like to know what the monitor does, check it out on the internet. And this is where the new one will be going. Incorrect controller setup. Using an underpowered MPPT controller, or one not properly matched to the panels, leads to power loss. As you may be able to tell, electrics is not one of my skills. I know some basics, but installing a power setup on the boat was beyond me. Therefore I highly recommend you get a professional to install the whole power setup so everything can be matched up. This is the old inverter that's just been taken out, and a charger unit. Inconsistent energy generation. Moored versus cruising. Solar panels perform better when constantly exposed to the sun, but when moored in shaded areas or travelling with shade, the actual yield can be only 60% of predictions. Idle load failure. Even with solar, small constant invisible drains like phantom loads from inverters or monitors can run batteries down to a point where the low voltage disconnect, LVD, kicks in. And here we have my prized coffee machine that runs off of mains power, which basically means I can't use it whenever I want to if I haven't got enough power. Oh well, I have to go with the instant. To prevent failure, successful off-grid setups typically focus on large solar arrays at 700 watts plus, using lithium batteries for deeper discharge capabilities and avoiding 240 volt heating appliances. As you know, I already have upgraded to new solar panels and a new future-proof inverter. However, I currently have lead acid batteries, but am planning to upgrade to lithium, hopefully this summer. This will give a significant boost to available power. I hope this video has helped you with information on why off-grid power setups fail. If I've missed anything, I would love to hear your views in the comments. In the next video, I take you through the space mistakes small off-grid homes make.